Hey everyone, Liz Campbell here from Dynamic Intention. Just going to fuck around with my camera a bit because this is the first time I've done a live stream down here in about a gazillion years, and I wanted to did this last week, but I'm doing it live again today, and I'm basically playing around with some new kind of ideas at the moment for how I want to start changing the podcast, which is why I've titled this Be the Cake Live, because I want to have some fun here. I want to muck around a little bit and see basically what feels good and what doesn't, because I'm a little bit bored of making videos and I do want to carry on working with energy, obviously, because like I am an energy alchemist / wizard, magician, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and oracle and so on and so forth. But I've been finding myself feeling like the way that I've been doing things feels a little bit dry to me, and I'm actually quite playful. If you meet me in real life or if you work with me, you'll know this. I'm quite direct. I'm also quite playful, and I want to play a bit more here on YouTube with what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna basically, okay, Spirit, talk to us even about the energy for the collective, particularly the people who are resonating with and connecting with my work on here and on TikTok and all the other places I'm going to end up eventually putting this, so that we can get an understanding of what to expect for this week. Thank you and please and thank you. Right, look at the bottom of the deck. Okay, ooh, here we go. Bottom of the deck, we've got body mind. Okay, so this is about understanding. This is about understanding basically the theme this week is about bringing stuff into balance. So like the body mind thing is about understanding. There's a lot of people that operate from a very mental space, okay, and your mind is incredibly powerful, but you need to understand that when we're talking about the subconscious, it actually runs through all of your cells as well. It doesn't just live up in your brain. Your brain isn't like the only part of your mind. Your mind lives outside of your body, also lives inside of your body. So your body mind space is actually kind of, in actual fact, and this is something that I think people really need to understand, if you look at E equals MC squared and you actually understand what that means from the point of view of the sheer amount of energy contained in each atom, it's the densest part of your energy, which means it has the most potential. So whatever your body mind is actually aligned with is what you're going to be manifesting, which is why it's really important to do trauma work, which is why somatic work is so powerful, which is why so many things that you will see online and offline, and basically people talking about in the healing space, and actually to do with manifestation as well, because when you're trying to kind of like do stuff outside of the body and you're not including the body in this stuff, you are not at full power. Okay, so that's what that wants to make itself known. So this week, you're going to be wanting to pay attention to that. Okay, and what else do we have going on with this? Right. Oh, intuition. I am, by the way, using the Dreams of Gaia deck right now. So using your intuition, basically. So tapping into your intuition, again, coming back to this body mind thing, your intuition is higher guidance, and it's also to do with what your body wisdom is telling you. Okay, so that gut instinct. This week you're going to be wanting to listen to that. Maybe, okay, so you're going to have a heightened sense of intuition, and actually like that sense of like listening to the inner voice and steering yourself according to what your inner voice is telling you. Basically, being intuitive with the way that you're doing things, rather than just trying to bodge through and doing stuff according to the way other people think that you should, or how some coaches strategize for you to do stuff. Okay. Oh, here we go. Abundance. Like, can't say fairer than that. This card is really interesting. This card in this deck, if you look at the number on it, which is 1010. No, not 1010, sorry. I'm going completely nuts. XV. Actually, thinking about it, no, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so it's the abundance card in this deck. In some decks, some might call this the... I'm not entirely sure because there's more cards in this fucking deck than there are in most tarot decks. It's designed... This deck is actually specifically designed for manifestation. You could look at this card as being... This is about earthly material abundance. It's not just about abundance as a concept. This is about actually, like, what I'm going to call, like, the fruits of your labors are coming into focus here. So whatever you've been focusing on manifesting, provided you're in alignment, provided you're on the right path, provided you are listening to your fucking intuition, this is going to be basically stepping forward. So, and I also want to say with this, part of this process is appreciating what you actually already have around you, even if there's something that you're working towards that isn't actually with you yet, as in you can't see it in your physical reality yet. So important to be present with what you actually have right now and actually be in a state of appreciation for that. Now, what I want to say with this is actually, oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some energy work so that if you have a hard time feeling appreciation for where you are right now, we're going to clear up whatever the fuck it is that's getting in the way of that. Okay. And basically, as you do this, you get to master the material plane in your feminine energy. Okay, so it's receptivity. This card is, it's really interesting. I always think of like the Queen of Earth, like this is about you healing your material physical reality and being like actually being in command of it. Okay, and seeing physical results and being in that space of self-love, self-nurturing. And when we come back to this sort of body-mind thing, like interesting, the theme this week is about understanding that you need to nurture your body and mind in order to create this abundance, and actually it's to do with the intuition and all the rest of it. So overall, the theme this week is that you are going to start, provided you're doing the, we're talking about the body mind stuff, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a helping to clean up for you. There's something that wants to come through, so I'm going to plug into that in a minute. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the Three of Earth, which is the Three of Pentacles, basically, and this card, which is Thought. Okay, so this card is about ambition. It's about sowing seeds and actually sowing the seeds in your thoughts of what's next. So it's really interesting, actually. Like the whole cycle here is there's stuff that's coming into fruition to do with you actually nurturing your body-mind connection, and also you're being asked to look at what seeds you're planting next in terms of your intentions. Okay, this is what is very, very clear from all of this. Any more cards want to come out? No. Before we actually get on to this next bit, what I want to do is playing around with the different cards here. So we've got, this is a deck that people probably haven't seen for ages. Doreen Virtue, she doesn't do these anymore, hasn't done them for years, since she went born again on everybody. Okay, so I'm going to see what card wants to come out, and I'm going to be channeling on whatever the subject matter is for these. Ooh, got two. Soulmate relationships and tranquility. Interesting. Okay. So this feels like it's something to do with what was coming through today. I put something up on Threads actually about this, talking about the distortions of the masculine and feminine energy and what they equate to. And actually, it feels like this is an expansion of this. Okay, right. Let's see what wants to be acknowledged, said, expressed with me as channel for it to come through from. I'm literally just going to say from higher consciousness. I'm not channeling from any particular collective or anything like that. This is literally just coming through direct from like source consciousness / my higher consciousness, and what wants to be said, what wants to be acknowledged. Okay. There might be some light language at the start of this. I don't know. It does sometimes happen. Nanti ko super taino mi karar basukura ban kalala bar tu no malil kora mar burtit nenes kala patatata rendo ni mela bakorta aino mas to kanak bakrut musta kena melu katsa kom rino kala pasapaka ai osana kalala ka sukara no kuskor bitu hur in minus tunanai. Ashna ke banar no skarali kana gusta tin ke parenta ta hasai aishuna na manius kana niulai agana mai una kala kasura makoritune ashtana ya orana kostene kala bala burtai no sapata alama ko hino kante asuna ele bala musta nice. Allowing yourself to be in the perfect balance of the masculine and feminine interplay within you is going to result in you seeing a big shift and change in your circumstances on the outside within your relationships. For you see that the external is reflecting to you that which is out of balance within when you are experiencing these balance issues outside of you. And it's important for you to understand that this is perfectly rectifiable without ever having to even say anything to the people outside of you about what is causing you distress. For you are the point of cause, my dear. You are the causation. You are both the cause and the effect. If you see yourself as being the originator of the loop in which you find yourself, you allow yourself to take back your power from the externals, which you have allowed to rule over you, which have kept you in this state of assumed powerlessness, which is not to your advantage. And it is advantageous for you to acknowledge your sense of self-responsibility in this interplay, this game that you are playing with yourself, so that you can truly express and experience your heart's desires as you intended when you first arrived here. We would like you to understand that this is nowhere near as difficult as you think it would be. It is only your fear of your own power which is stopping you from actually taking the reins, as it were. And this is not exerting power over through the usual human methods of conflict and argument and violence and all of the other things that you see happening around you and that you have been trained and conditioned into doing for yourself. This is about self-authority, inner authority, inner mastery, inner awareness, and stepping forwards, not only with clear intentions, but with full awareness of how your energy works and how indeed to create the reflections that you want in your outer world by working with the inner. We would urge to you that when you take this responsibility, you will find yourself in a very different position to the frustrations of the past, which have previously led to you feeling like you are bashing your head against a brick wall. And we want you to understand that, contrary to popular opinion, it is nowhere near as difficult as you think it is. It does require from you, however, a commitment of some kind to being, you could say, your own boss, understanding that you are the one with the power and choosing to own that, and to take the offers of support in doing so in the ways that feel resonant for you, so that you can move forwards feeling joyful, elated, supported, and in your divine power. And we would like to see you do this from the point of view of the soul satisfaction that it brings you, which is always, of course, your choice. And this soulmate relationship that you seek on the outside begins within you. When you understand that you are your own divine counterpart, then you can start to address that relationship and then see that manifest outside of you without difficulty. 4, the people that come into your life are showing you things about yourself, either the traumas that you have not resolved yet, which you have swept under the carpet and decided not to look at, and these are the relationships which you find difficult, or the harmonious nature of the higher frequencies that are coming through you. Sometimes a mixture of both. Understanding this and understanding that stepping forwards into your power requires an understanding of how you operate this as the one steering your vehicle and as the one generating the reflections. And for this, yes, you can work with your shadow. You can ask your shadow questions. It will give you very honest answers, for it carries so much of the things you're in denial about for you. So when you talk to your shadow, you can have the answers that you seek. Your shadow is not this dark and looming thing that you think it is. Your shadow is, in fact, your friend. It is understanding that it is the shadow carrying what you would call the garbage or the junk of the things that you are ashamed of, not so willing to look at, acknowledge, admit to. And so therefore your shadow knows exactly what is in the bag, as it were. And when you ask your shadow what it is that you need to deal with, it will give you very honest answers. This is part of working out the body-mind connection that we speak of. And so we would like to wish you the best in this endeavor this week, and that you take the time for yourself to do this so that you can feel the sense of satisfaction that comes from it as you step into ever elevated heights of your human experience. There you go. That was fairly succinct. It's interesting, actually, looking at that, because I know for me, like, talking about parallels to my own experience in my own life and with my own relationship, when I am prepared to do the inner work. And when we're talking about doing the inner work, a lot of people make it a lot more painful and a lot more kind of gnarly sounding than it actually needs to be. It can be done with a lightness of touch. You do see the changes on the outside, and there are ways and ways of doing things. I will actually just drop in here. If you are wanting to actually do this work in a loving, supportive environment where you're surrounded by people who are also doing the same kind of thing, and it's not hierarchical in nature, you're very welcome to check out the links below this video and investigate the idea of coming and joining the Magic Zone, which is my mastermind group, where we would be delighted to see you. Okay, if it feels like the right thing for you to do, which I'm sure it will for the right people. What else was I going to say? Yes, energy work. Oh, apparently that was something to do with the light language. Okay. More energy work? No. Okay, apparently that light language that came through is something to do with, it should have been doing something along the lines. I had no idea, it just wanted to come out. So that was apparently something to do with the fact that I was getting the message that there was going to be some stuff to help you to basically deal with any distortions. I'm going to say distortions in your masculine and feminine energy that are preventing you from being in a state of appreciation for what's right in front of you. Because in actual fact, I was, like I was saying before, I was actually posting about this on Threads today. Basically, when you have distortions in your feminine energy, which is most people, okay, and you know, it's one of these things that can like go in and out in terms of like sometimes it will be distorted, other times it won't. When you have distortions in your feminine energy, the way it tends to show up, okay, is that you find it difficult to appreciate what's right in front of you. You find yourself being hypercritical of stuff. You find yourself not appreciating things. You come from a sort of, I'm not going to say mindset, but an energy of victimization. Okay. And I'd say sort of when you look at the sort of the table of how things work in terms of like your level of self-mastery, you've got to me, through me, and as me. Okay. The distortion end of the scale is the to me end of things, where it's like, why is this stuff always happening to me? Then you go up a level and there's stuff happening through me. And then when you get to the as me level, what you're doing is you're actually like, you're starting to merge with your higher self more and actually realizing that you're not separate from the divine, and that actually things are happening as you basically, and you're in a state of understanding your role, as it were, in the grand plan, and you're fully on board with it. Does that make sense? Anyhow, so having said all of that, I'm going to carry on right now? No. We're going to leave it here for today. I'm sending you so much love. Mwah! And I will see you next time, possibly in a few days. I might be doing another live stream this week. We shall see. I will probably try and do an evening one, actually, from the point of view. It'd be quite nice to do something I haven't done for ages. The last time I did a live stream where I actually did some like on the spot readings and things for people was probably back in 2017, maybe 2018. On here was a really long time ago, and I kind of fancy doing that again. So, and I know that the best time to catch people when you do that kind of thing is the evening. So we shall see. Mwah. See you all later. Bye for now.